From the Detroit Free Press, I'm Robin Chan with today's voice briefing. It's Tuesday, January 23rd, 2024.
I'm Teresa Baldus with the Detroit Free Press. Ever wonder what happened to Al Sobotka, the Detroit Red Wings Zamboni driver who was fired for peeing in a drain after 51 years on the job? Well, he's still fuming and still suing over it, but there's a backstory that is just coming out. According to a Free Press investigation, Sobotka begged billionaire Chris Ilitch to give him a second chance after he was fired, but Ilitch ignored him. The company's HR folks also ignored him when he told them he had a prostate problem, and that's why he peed in the drain. He couldn't hold it. But the company never looked into his medical condition, never talked to Sobotka about it, and never considered it when deciding to fire him, the Free Press has learned. Sobotka was fired by email. He was asked to sign a non-disclosure agreement and offered a 3 months pay severance package, but he refused and filed a lawsuit instead. Sobotka claims he was fired because of his age. He was 68 when he was fired. He says higher-ups wanted him gone and used the peeing incident as an excuse. Olympia Entertainment says age had nothing to do with Sobotka's firing, that what he did was egregious and had to go, and that it has a right to have workers not pee in open workplaces. Olympia has been trying for 2 years to get the lawsuit thrown out. A judge last year ruled a jury should hear the case given the severity of Sobotka's punishment. So Olympia appealed. The case is now before the Michigan Court of Appeals. For more on this story, please report to freep.com.
I'm Sue Solaski, Detroit Free Press food writer. The distillers and creators of Paczki Day Vodka at Detroit City Distillery are at it again. In time for the Eastern Markets Distillery's annual release of its traditional Paczki Day Vodka set for Friday, they've created a new flavor. Last week, the distillery began creating a limited batch of orange cream Paczki Day Vodka. The new flavor will be available for sale later this week. More than 6 years ago, Detroit City Distillery created its Paczki Day Vodka infused with raspberry glazed punchki from Hamtramck's iconic New Palace Bakery. Along with the new flavor, the distillery announced the return of its hometown horseradish vodka, which will now be available year-round. Detroit City Distillery's new orange cream flavor stems from a specialty punchki from New Palace Bakery. Like the distillery's traditional Paczki Day Vodka, the new flavor is made the same way by soaking the orange cream punchki overnight in Michigan and Polish potato vodka in a copper still. The annual Paczki Day Vodka release and online sales are set for 8 a.m. Friday at DetroitCityDistillery.com. Each year, the distillery celebrates Paczki Day Vodka with a public party. This year's event is set for February 10th at the distillery's Eastern Market Tasting Room.
From reporter Teresa Baldus. On the eve of his parents' trials kicking off, Oxford school shooter Ethan Crumbley has dropped a bombshell. He is appealing his life without parole sentence, and his new lawyers plan to fight any efforts to get him to testify in his parents' historic case, according to new court documents. The State Appellate Defender's Office disclosed these developments in a Monday court filing, 1 day before jury selection is set to begin for Jennifer Crumbley, who, like her husband James, is charged with involuntary manslaughter in the 2021 Oxford High School shooting in which their son killed 4 students and injured 7 other people. The son last month was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The Appellate Defender's Office announced Monday that it has been assigned to represent the shooter in his appeal, but that it has not yet spoken to him. This information was detailed in a letter to the judge overseeing the parents' case. The letter also noted that Ethan Crumbley's name appears on a witness list for at least one of the parents' trials. The couple are being tried separately, with the father's trial now being set for March 5th, though he will be advised against taking the stand in the unprecedented case. For more on this story, you can search for Teresa Baldus' article, Ethan Crumbley's New Lawyers Will Try to Keep Him from Testifying in Parents' Trials, on freep.com. Find more from the Detroit Free Press on freep.com. That's FREEP.com. Thanks for listening, and you'll hear more from us tomorrow.